Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I want to talk about who will the Washington Wizards sign in free agency. And right now they don't have a head coach, but I expect it to be Wes Unseld Jr. is what I'm leaning towards. But that's not what the video is about. It's about the free agents that they will sign, and I don't think their coach will necessarily matter for this matter. But let's get right into today's video. The guys that are going into free agency are Isaac Bonga, Alex Lynn, Raul Neto, Ish Smith, Robin Lopez, and you could say Cassius Winston and Garrison Matthews, who both will probably be brought back, I believe, on another two-way deal. I believe that Alex Lynn and Raul Neto are the only two that should be brought back. If they could be brought back on similar contracts, being a little bit near or a little bit over the minimum. Now, moves. I know some people might want Davis Bertans moved or try to move Russell Westbrook, but that's a very hard contract to move. What I believe they should be doing is finding players that could go next to our man. Like Alex Lynn next to Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook was awesome. Lynn was one of the reasons they were competitive and for their late season success. He provided them with an athletic big that could run the floor and consistently finish at the rim. And he also provides the Wizards with strong rebounding and great rim protection while filling in for an injured Thomas Bryant. With Bryant expected to be back at full strength next season, Lynn will be a vital as a backup center that could provide meaningful minutes playing in their second unit, competing with Daniel Gafford. But you could also argue that Gafford's going to replace Lynn. So, there's that. Now, I believe that the best thing that could happen for this team is if they look like Jeremy Grant would be so cool. If they could get a guy like that, Jeremy Grant would be somebody I think they should target. I mean, it's not realistic, but the Wizards would definitely benefit from trying to acquire a player of Jeremy Grant's caliber. Do I think it's realistic? No. A player realistically they could bring in if they do move on from Alex Lim, maybe they do keep Raul Neto, is Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock, a guy who has been phenomenal, okay? And I think he could come in and make an impact. And he wouldn't cost that much. I think he was like $5 million this past season for the Knicks, but he played this year for the Knicks, averaging about 11 points per game, 4 rebounds, 1.5 assists, a steal on 41% from three, on 30 minutes a night. He's 30 years old, 25th pick from 2013, so he's carved out a career for himself. And I really do think that, you know, Reggie Bullock would definitely benefit from playing next to Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook, and then Roy Huchimara. And there's not much cap space. Like, I think they're gonna draft like Corey Kesper if he's available, and if not, they could go big man. But to be honest, I think the best thing for them to do right here is try to get a guy like Reggie Bullock, who, yes, I know he's not going to be worth around 10 million plus, but they could offer him the full mid-level exception, or some of the mid-level exception. I don't think it should be a 3-4 year deal. It could be a 2 or 3 year deal, and they really could benefit from a guy who's a decent perimeter defender who can space the floor. And throw that next to, like, there's other options you could argue that they could go for: DeMar DeRozan, Dennis Schroeder. I don't know how they would get that under the cap. Mike Conley, Kyle Lowry. Like, to get under the cap without moving Westbrook or Bradley Beal would require Bertans and Bryant being moved, which would get them to 97 million, which would give them 15 million plus the mid-level exception. I don't know what players are going to get better, but yeah, so I think the best move right here would be just to go for players of, again, Reggie Bullock. If you could swing a trade for Jeremy Grant, a sign and trade, I think that would consist of Davis Bertans, maybe Thomas Bryant, Chandler Hutchinson, and a pick. Like, obviously the salaries would easily work. I was just saying to give the Pistons a bunch of stuff so you have to give up the least amount of picks. you might gut the roster, but you get Jeremy Grant, Bradley Beal, and Russell Westbrook to be a formidable front with Daniel Gafford, and if you bring back Alex Lynn off the bench, not a bad team right there. Let me hear your thoughts. I'm done today, guys. I'll post the next video very soon.